Joyful Danish. Stay human. Is it even still possible to stay human? Maybe. It's not too late.
Hello. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Joyful Danish, Daniel, your host, therapist, and a human. Also an author, and a lot of other things, but Today is going to be boring. That's the topic. It's the topic of today. What is the purpose of boredom? How can it be a gift? What is some of the use cases, the effects, and why you maybe should start doing it a little bit more to restore your minds, to recover, to get new ideas, to just stay human. Yep, that's what we're going to talk about today. Because isn't it a little bit horrifying? The silence. Can you easily be with yourself? Like 30 seconds, you know? Like just this, with these pauses I'm making in between. Is that annoying you? Or does it give you some pauses to think and digest? Because 30 seconds with your thoughts and boom, what's happening? Checking 6 apps, 2 charts, and a group chat that hasn't said anything useful since 2019. So, today we're going to talk about that. What terrifies developers more than production outage? Boredom. The empty moment when nothing is loading, nothing is pinging, and your brain goes, absolutely not. We must escape this immediately. We have to be busy. We've been training into fear silence, to treat boredom like a bug in the system. But what if boredom isn't a bug? What if it's a core feature we accidentally deleted? Today, we are trying to give an invitation to restore it. Welcome to Joyful Danish, how to stay human in tech. So, you didn't lose focus, you lost your original brain. There is a digital detox study with a brutal final line. The scientist didn't say he became calmer, he optimized better, he improved productivity. They said he got his original brain back. That's haunting because it suggests we didn't just get distracted, we got replaced. One of the first things the subject recovered was deep time perception. Not calendar time, not sprint time, real time. He couldn't stop noticing that he could feel weeks connected to months, decisions connected to consequences, and life has a continuous story instead of a Jira board that resets every 2 weeks. So why does this matter in tech? Developers live in microtime, 2-week sprints, daily stand-ups, hourly notification, and when you lose deep time, you stop thinking long-term. You optimize the now. You refactor the endlessly. And you panic switch stacks. You wake up 5 years later wondering how you got there. Boredom is where time reconnects. It's where your past, present, and future can finally be in the same room. Memory is broken, and it's not your fault. The second thing that came back is memory, real memory. No, I think I saw that somewhere, memory. The subject regained what is called, for example, he could remember conversations with places, smells, lights, physical contacts. Most tech workers can't. It's called spatio-temporal recall. Because for most tech workers, life becomes Zoom windows, Slack threads, code editor, repeat. Everything floats, nothing sticks. Story from the trenches. I coached a developer, and let's call her Sarah. Brilliant, overwhelmed. She couldn't remember which projects a solution came from, where key decisions were made, why everything felt foggy. Her brain wasn't broken, it was never given time to save files. We added one rule: 3 times a day, 15 minutes away from screens. No input, walking, sitting, staring. And again, of course, there's variation of this, but there's a key point of like actually implementing spaces in between, because otherwise, it's the same with songs. It's white noise otherwise. But if there is spaces in between, and that's kind of how your life's music could be or is. And within weeks, she actually experienced better recall, less anxiety, and clearer thinking. Your brain needs boredom to write memories to your hard drive, to your disk. No void, no saving. So that was the wildest part of the studies, where they were talking about that the subject regained pre-digital boredom tolerance. He could sit for 40 minutes watching shadows move, no phone, no panic, and no fake urgencies. Modern humans can't wait for a build to finish without opening Twitter, but boredom is where creativity incubates. Problem untangible. Solutions sneak up on you. Archimedes didn't yell Eureka while doom scrolling. He was bored, relaxed, letting his brain wander. Every developer knows this. Your best ideas happen in the shower, on a walk, staring at the ceiling 5 minutes after you stop trying. Without boredom, you stay reactive. With boredom, you become insightful. And I think I actually will add this to the note as well. Again, I'll put it in the show notes. But it reminds me of John Cleese, that made a book about creativity. And he was talking about, I've seen some of his interviews where he says that when it comes to creativity, he says the same thing, that when he least expects it and he gives space for things to come, we often say this as well: I got an idea. We never say I created an idea or I made this idea. We always say we got an idea. Where did we get it from? So I think that there is something crucial about creating space and being home when the mailman is coming with the mail. You are there to receive it. Metaphorically speaking, of course, but also in person. How are you else going to get the message? And another thing that came back was slow thread calibration. Phones train us to treat everything as urgent as possible. Every ping feels like a fire alarm, especially to our nervous system, actually. So that's also why so many people don't have any patience anymore. If it's not like within 10 seconds, or 5 or 10 second TikTok video, they're not interested. They lost focus. So when you think about that, what can you do in practical terms? The mini cutoffs, the 3 examples from earlier. For example, the stand up, walk away without your phone, for example, to learn your nervous system again, that you can actually be, human, but without the tech for 5 minutes. It is possible. And it could also be like before a certain time and after a certain time, there's no devices. Your brain needs to bookends and connecting the dots, and that takes time. And walking is one of them, of course. It could be 15 minutes, no music, no podcast. Let your brain solve things in the background, because that's actually what it does. These aren't productivity hacks. These are brain restoration patches. So boredom isn't emptiness. It's space. You're not lazy for needing it. You are human. Your body needs this. Your brain needs this. Your nervous system needs to use this to self-regulate. So if you're up here and very stressed, it doesn't get less stress by quickly trying to relax. It's like the opposite effect, right? Try to relax faster. It just doesn't work like that, does it? Not at all. And you can start today, like 5 minutes. But if you feel like I don't have 5 minutes, then do it in an hour. Or start with 1 minute. Start where it's doable for you. That's the main importance, you know. You're standing in line down the grocery store, and you feel like you don't have time for this, or it's like, it's boring, and you just quickly find your phone like everyone else. You could check in with your breath. Am I breathing? How am I actually today? What is my state of being right now? I'm just really tired, or I'm a little bit sore in my shoulder. Yeah, maybe I should stretch a little bit. Yeah. How is my posture? What is nice right now? What am I thankful for right now? That is, for example, one thing I try to always, I've been doing that for actually many years, like, I don't know, at least 5 or 7 years, I guess. Every evening, as a mental exercise, I think about 3 to 5 things that I have been grateful for that happened that same day. It has to be the same day. In that way, the exercise stays fresh, and you can reuse it, and it becomes fun. It becomes a scavenger hunt for your mind. Even during the day, I catch myself, this was actually nice. It could be a compliment, or, that was a nice song. I haven't heard this since I was a teenager. Nice. It's a nice sunset. This is actually a nice meal. It can be small things. It can be big things. But what matters is that you're noticing it. And if you're not bored, if you don't create those spaces in your song, otherwise it's just white noise, and then you don't have time and space to notice what is happening, because everything then starts to happen all at once, right? And that's why it feels like it's just one tone. It just becomes white noise. So when you think about that, it's just that your original brain is still here. It's just been waiting for a moment of silence. And when you think about when have you last been bored? Because now we just have so much, right, of entertainment. Constant flow of information stream. This is, of course, part of it as well. is part of the problem, depending on what state you are. And if you don't check in with yourself of like noticing, is this actually the right time? Should I maybe just be still so I can be able to listen to my inner voices and my inner thoughts, all the stuff that hasn't been processed yet. But if you keep feeding yourself, when should there be time to then decompress and digest and just think about what was been said? I mean, partially that's actually what our dreams are for as well. Dreams, for example, has the function of actually processing some of the stuff that we didn't process while we were awake. And things that we then keep not addressing or noticing and resolving, that end up being too big of a worry or something like that, that could potentially end up being a nightmare until you face it and actually do something about it. And in the awake state, that's kind of what you have your nervous system, your body, so has a key responsible trigger to kind of make you accountable to your actions or lack of actions. So if you don't intervene, the body will intervene. The nervous system will be overwhelmed and you'll go down with stress or depression or something else. But the body will always say no in the end. At some point, it'll just say, nope, this is too much. We can't handle it, and you can't say no apparently, so I'm going to say no for both of us. So, yeah. That's why it's so important to try to have some small spaces, some small gaps for you to notice what is the state right now. Check in with yourself. Doesn't have to take that long. Close your eyes. Put maybe your hand on your chest, because that increased in sensation of like, okay, so what's going on? What need my attention right now? And maybe you start to feel some ache or pains or some stiffness or some muscle tensions here and there. And maybe you don't have the time right now to do something about it because you're at work or the time is just not right now. But later during the day or whenever you actually do have some time to take care of it, try to prioritize that you're going to take care of it. And in that way, you're going to maintain your system and not overload it. And thereby it wouldn't be in such a big distress that it can happen if it doesn't get attention and get helped. Because it's your body. And your body cannot take care of you if you don't take care of your body. Your body can only say no so many times, right? So you can overrule it for some time, but eventually you need to take the phone from your nervous system that what's going on? What should we do? What should we adjust? Because it seems like that you keep stopping. How come? What of this, whatever I'm doing, does not work for you? And doesn't have to be that hippie, but just check in and noticing, okay, I have bad work posture, or I move too little. I need to do that some more. Or I'm very tense. Okay. I'm taking things too seriously. Maybe I need to do some more unserious stuff, comedy or relaxation, massages, saunas, Go into nature. Breathe. Enjoy things. The sunset. Songs. Pet a dog or a cat or something. Something that makes you more calm and at peace. It matters. Yeah. So I'll actually try to make this very shorter at least than a normal episode. Here we are around 20 minutes. And I'll give you this invitation if you want. But I'll be bored with you for the next 5 minutes. So you can, of course, just end the episode. Or you can take the challenge that you can be bored with me. Yeah. Being bored. And notice what thoughts that maybe come up. But just letting them go as clouds on the horizon. So you may be noticing them, but just seeing them going away as well. It's part of the processing, the effect boredom has. Even though it almost feels illegal, right? To feel boredom in today's society. Because there's so much to do. Yeah. And being bored with other people. I mean, even this, even though it was sort of like a spontaneous idea, feels a little bit funny. Being bored. You don't have to call it bored. It could be a word that you maybe associate with something a little bit more neutral or optimistic or positively. Like I know people, for example, who say that say no to different events or meetings with social events. Or I can't because I have I have a thing to do, or like I have already plans made. And the plan is to just be with yourself. It's okay to prioritize yourself. For example, I can't stop noticing then, as my brain works like that often. Then it starts to come up like my inner productivity. Daniel comes up like, I imagine, it's a breakthrough. I've never seen that before. Maybe it could be an idea to make a podcast where you just are bored with people. So people can be bored together. So you see sometimes how your mind can play with yourself, trying to let go of this. Instead of just being letting go. It almost feels like a precursor to meditation, because you're just being there, not doing anything. But you're still kind of active in some way. What do you notice? Now the 5 minutes has been up. So you actually been bored with me for 5 minutes. Oh, actually 25 minutes, dude. Good roast, bro. Maybe, I don't know. But I hope you got something out of this. I mean, I could definitely see that I could do a segment where it is about just being bored for 5 minutes, because it does seem like that many people today have a hard time to just be bored, not doing anything. Not being productive. And all the time doing. Trying to be something they're not. I mean, that's kind of also the interesting exercise doing this podcast. That I'm partially just being me, but I'm also performing in some way, trying to give and create value for you guys in some way. And yeah, I mean, it's a funny balance, yeah, like that. Because eventually, I just wish that I eventually do become 100% just human, just me, authentic me. But I still noticed some small things here and there. So I think I'll get there eventually, but yeah. When I'm doing stuff like this, for example, I kind of feel like that was a nice little raw, vulnerable, authentic moments. Yeah. Because again, I didn't plan it, but the idea came and then I stayed with it. I hope you stayed too. And wish you a good day. And I hope you maybe feel inspired to create some more gaps in your life where you can be bored or just be with a cup of coffee or your pet or seeing birds outside or the sun or a tree just moving in the wind. Yeah. But thank you. Yeah. Thank you for listening. And take care. Stay human. Don't have to stay bored, but be bored sometimes. or be still, or just be.
Joyful Danish. Stay human. Is it even still possible to stay human? Maybe it's not too late.